Hey, how's it going? I am going to read you some cards, and first I'm going to have you look at some signs. Oh, okay, I'm still plugged in. Okay, and now I got to get rid of some cord. Oh, okay. Let's see how long that stays there. Oh, good. That's not good. Get out of the way. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm sorry. Fine. I guess I'll just charge it after. So, well, oh. I pulled some cards. Oh my gosh. And I pulled two from, sorry, I'm a little bit scattered here, the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. I don't need any comment from you. And they were Falling Angel number 19. And the subtitle is Spiritual Narcolepsy. Can you get a look at that at all? So yeah, Falling Angel. I have nothing to add about that. Well, I mean, I do, but just hold on a minute. And then the other card I pulled was Perfect Storm. And the subtitle on this one is The Courage to Step into Life. And it's number 44. And boy, have I been seeing a lot of blackbirds when I pull these things for a while now. I'm starting to think there's a message I'm not getting. So, I did pull the guidebook pages for both of these cards, but I got more out of the impression I got it when I first pulled them than I did out of actually reading the guidebook, but I will refer to them. So, Falling Angel is not a fallen angel, which kind of says to me, possibly this angel is redeemable. And I just realized that I pulled a third card. Almost just went wandering off without mentioning the card I pulled from the the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Ooh, and I didn't get the book or anything. I don't even know. And that card was Raccoon. And it is from the triangle on the top with the line down below indicates it is the earth element. And, well, yeah, I mean, raccoons are beasts. They do generally live outside, on the ground. Okay, so, I'm actually gonna read from the guidebook about the raccoon, but, well, actually, I was gonna say, but not right now, because I had already started on the other ones, but I know what I want to say about those. This one, I have to consult the manual. So, Raccoon, talented, shadowy, in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees at best. It indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Wow. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who the audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. Wow, wow, wow. When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. Okay, so I'm wowing because remember I said I had no idea what I was going to be talking about with this? It so happens a lot of what I just read totally corresponds with the other cards. So, I started talking about falling angels as opposed to fallen angels, okay? But when I pulled the card, I immediately started thinking Icarus. You know the myth of Icarus? Where he and his father built wings to fly to the heavens or whatever. And the father cautions Icarus, don't go too close to the sun because for some dumb reason, I guess, I don't know, ancient times, the wings were like feathers and wax and balsa wood, olive wood, I don't know. I think they were Greek. But Icarus is so like entranced with the flying and the going higher, like maybe he's not getting enough oxygen because he just keeps going up and it's affecting his ability to think, or it's just his ego, just like I am a golden god. Whatever the case, he flew too close to the sun. And I believe in the myth or fable, I don't know, one of those, I think myth, he actually falls to the ground and put two and two together. Had he listened to his father, though, he would have redeemed himself for more plays in the game. And so that really seemed like, to me, that it just seemed like he just kind of got lost, like all up in the high of the flying. I almost wanted to say celebrity, like he, just thought he was, or just, yeah, yes, it was like all in his own head, because at least in the story, they only get one fly before that all happens. So it's not like, ow, he built up to it and became a celebrity, but celebrity came to mind. But it's also, I'm feeling like what was in his head, because it's not spiritual narcolepsy. The book talks about something completely else happening, but it's ego narcolepsy. Like they're so asleep in it that they don't even notice the spiritual narcolepsy anymore, or the guidance of the father, the elder, the wisdom guy. And since this is not the myth I'm telling, this character has the potential to save themselves, because you can get really wrapped up in things, and I guess you could say your mind plays tricks on you, like you think things that are not actually the case. Like you have an inflated, elevated sense of what's happening with you in your life. So I'm just gonna hold it right there. This was, whoa, hello. This was the card of consequence, I thought, though, because wow. So Perfect Storm, and the subtitle is The Courage to Step into Life. So I'm just gonna give you a good look at that card there. it's got a lot going on. Like there's a storm definitely happening in the background. You notice though the bird is not at all perturbed, although I mean it's like got some kind of something to do with the storm, like some attachment. Because it's got storm going into its own chest storm, so I feel like there's some kind of linkage there. And it also, like the storm, look at its feathers, unruffled. So, like part of the storm, integrating, sure, why not? I thought, though, let me look up. So it's the 44 card, right? And you know, I always break those up, I'll say. And so 4 and 4 added equal 8. And I didn't put in spiritual significance today. I just put in significance of number 8. And it came back with a lot of things. So I'm just gonna sort of read over my notes. Perfect storm of blackbirds, like so many lately, bringing the message of turbulent, cloudy times ahead. Gee, I don't know what I could possibly liken that to in reality or any of what I've been talking about. So warning, a message of turbulent, cloudy times and warning to stay centered. Eye of the storm. Stay clear of the edges or be sucked into the drama, the damage. Don't try and hold on to all of your stuff. If you are so attached that they out-prioritize your life, girl, you in trouble. Time out. You've had enough. Let it go. Let it fly away into the wind. Just go. Because seriously, if you're that attached to something that you are gonna metaphorically endanger your life by trying to carry all of it while you're trying to escape a killer storm, that's dumb. Really, let it go. That's like telling you, like, you have been there, done that long enough. Move on to a new thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing that it's a storm. Like, from fires come new growth. Harsh winters are followed by springs, which are followed by summers. Things, get better. They continue to get, these layers stack up and graduate, and yes, things get better. Let's see here. So let it go, let life begin anew. Let the storm be your perfection. Okay, I mean, it is just a metaphor. Although we do experience storms in our lives and emotions and etc. So, all right. Here is what came up when I put significance of number 8 into the search bar. Authority, self-confidence, inner strength and wisdom, social status, ego and love for humanity, and a desire for peace. After a storm, a good or perfect storm. Number 8 also indicates, or not indicates, what am I trying to say? Well, some of the other things listed, since I can't come up with the word I just had in my brain, it talks about the 8 being identified with cyclic breathing, which they talked about the 8 as as the infinity symbol, where it's horizontal rather than 8. If you put it sideways, it's infinity. And cyclic breathing, so I mean, that seems kind of obvious, and I'll tell you why, but I think it means like whenever you're inhaling and exhaling, but going up and around the loop and down and up again and around the loop and down and up again. You see what I'm saying? So when I first started learning about breathing, deep breathing, the benefits of breathing properly and so on, I thought I needed a way to keep my mind on the repetition and not let it wander. And I came up with the infinity symbol and a little roller coaster car that is like up on the inhale, and then at the top release, and then, you know, exhale, and then when it starts to rise again, inhale. And I have been doing that for years. So I think that's kind of wow, kind of funny. And then earlier tonight I was listening to Cryon, and I may put that link in the community, or link it on my page. But he was talking about, oh my gosh, are you serious right now? I'm going to forget. It was just in my head. It had to do with all of this. Dang it. I had to pause it so I can think about this. Hold on, I'll be back. Now I remember. So the point that he made several, but the one that is like resonating with what I'm saying is that the times ahead are going to be like exciting, interesting, turbulent, stormy, and cloudy, like maybe sort of difficult to see through for far or clearly ahead of you. And that's okay. Like, it's all that's good is going to come from it. And even though it's going to be a turbulent storm, it could be the perfect storm for us, because we did collectively decide to have everything that's going on. All of the people, all of the ways, all of the things, all of the wars, all of the solutions to like cure diseases or treat them better, all of it, births, deaths, wins, losses, everything. This is something we collectively created to live through. And so that's, Cryon was talking about that. And then he also was saying that we came here to do this, to raise the consciousness of this planet, because we've just been violent and killy for eons. And are we done yet? Are we there yet? So yeah, I agree with that. Let's be done with all of that and move on to the new thing. Let's let the storm rip all of that violence and ugliness and negativity. Just let it, just take it away and dispose of it wherever storms deposit your stuff that you have used up the value of, basically. I'm losing cohesion trying to like tack this all together, but the ego thing here, Icarus, man. And he wasn't even really like trying to be harmful. He hurt himself. So, well, he hurt himself extra good, but he hurt himself all the way. But what that did was, for anybody that didn't want to listen to the Father going, hey, you know, too close, don't do it, or take advice. Well, there's an example of what happens when you don't listen and your ego that flies away with you. All those people got to see him fall. And what do you get from that? Maybe take the advice. Maybe don't fly so close to the sun. Maybe just be good with moderation and stay healthy. And so this card also was calling to, well, it talks about talent and creativity, but also tenacity and skillfulness. And so creativity manifests in more ways than art and music. I mean, architecture, all kinds of design. So I don't know why they only relegated it to those two areas, but to survive the storm and to be centered, which would equal grounding to me, well, it's not, maybe not a creative tool, or maybe it is for someone, but it's a coping tool. It's a mechanism. And I feel like the way that this animal behaves, it's not, unless it's threatened, it's not like out, it's not an extrovert, it's not an aggressor. So it has skills and talents that, you know, if it's, like I said, if it's threatened, it can have a set of reactions and defensive mechanisms, but generally it's like keeping that kind of thing to itself, not presenting as a threat, because it doesn't want to be. I mean, I don't think it wants to. It would rather have you like leave some dog food out than throw rocks at it or shoot at it, put it that way. And they certainly can't do anything like that to us. But we do have a visceral reaction to animals and nature and being grounded anymore. It's like we have lost a wild, unknown spirit. And that takes us into Icarus territory and just getting kind of caught up, like the spiritual narcolepsy, just sort of getting all caught up in something that is not the best for our health. That's an extreme example, but it could be not great for the mental health, not great for societal health, not great for familial health, career health. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but I'm only really thinking of one particular thing, because that's a storm that we're all going to go through, that even if we don't participate, politics affects us all. And I just feel like Trump is like the sun for some people, and a lot of them get close to him and find themselves back on the ground, unable to fly, you know, barred from practicing law and things like that. And so maybe not Icarus, but this guy maybe can come to their senses as they fall and realize, whoa, I better moderate my behavior here, because it's getting dangerous up here. And you do have to have a sense of self-preservation. And I feel like, you know, maybe they're just in a different sort of timeline potential, that, because, you know, I'm aware of like the mega element and all of that stuff, but I'm not one. I'm like another thing. I'm a different thing. So, but I can be aware, I am aware of them a lot more aware, or I'm not more aware than them, just, but like, maybe I should have some moderation in my awareness, but I can't help it because I just feel like they are crucial to the future and part and parcel of the problem. Not the only part and parcel of the problem, but big and loud, bossy part. And at the same time, and here's the thing though, because when I did read the guidebook pages about this, it was sort of like, it would say one thing and then almost immediately contradict itself. And I don't know, maybe that's kind of what's going on in this picture, like with the bird sitting in the middle of a storm, completely undisturbed, looking by the storm as if it's part of the storm. I don't know, but it's like a bird is not a part of any storm unless it's caught in the wind current and, you know, sucked into it and tossed about. They're just sort of incongruous as two things being alike, wanting to be together even. And yet here they are, which is kind of like, you're in the middle of a storm. Part of the storm that I spoke of before, the falling angels, and you did sign up for it, I guess is what I'm getting at. So might as well enjoy it. Oh, and that was the other thing that I wanted to refer to with Cryan. He often talks about the Akashic record. Well, he went into yet more detail about it, which was to say that it is something that is not outside of you. You actually have the Akashic record, particularly as pertains to yourself, in us, and that's pretty much really all you need to access. At least that's the way I understand it from what Cryan said. And it used to be, because of our level of consciousness, it was more difficult to access. We needed to pray and do things and ask for guidance from our angels and guides to find what we needed. But today, he said, it's just in you, and now you can just access it. It's like, my thing has always been, I feel like you will know what you need to know because, as he said today, you already know. It's not that you're getting new information, it's that you just haven't been able to remember stuff, but stuff is sinking in. And that's why the cyclic breathing that I just started doing on my own years ago, before I just saw that thing today, and I never made that association. That was the word I was trying to say, things that were associated with the number 8, and one of them is cyclic breathing. Another is that it's the highest feminine number. I actually did not look further into that. Like, maybe that's a homework assignment for me and the viewer. And it also said that 8 is associated with karma. And I heard Sterling say something interesting about karma either this week or last time he had a show. But it was that the karma, like the storm, is not like revenge. It's not a punishment for something you did. It's actually this is new for me because it kind of contradicts what I've said before, but it rings true also. But what he said is it is just stuff that we set out for ourselves to do. And as far as it, like, going from one lifetime to the next, that was where it got kind of muddy with him for me. I don't even want to try and repeat what he said because it was, you know, I was going to talk about it, so I didn't like deliberately retain it. But I mean, it makes sense. Sure, why wouldn't karma be part of our life blueprint? It's part of everything. Like, it weaves throughout lives, so it's everywhere. Like, everybody else's karma is going on while we're doing ours too. You think we don't get it on each other? Of course we do. It only makes sense. We're part of it too, right? We're just so connected. But it's true. So, I hope some of that made some sense for someone. I think it did. I hope it did. Let me see if I can wrap it up. Basically, I feel like it's all about the future and how are we going to act in it? Are we going to be grounded and be the observer, or did we take up the role of something else, something more active, something helpful and hopeful, or something that's more part of the taking down of the old timeline, basically, because we're moving into the Aquarian age, and it's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to be better and nicer than it has been for eons with all the violence and whatnot. So, the falling angels, I mean, we're all on our own, and we got our soul family and contributors to our life paths, but we can also support one another. And so I just feel like not just with the people that I referenced earlier, but also like the racial stuff that we have against each other, and really just any of it. Can we just, like, you know, loosen the nut a little bit on each other? Can we just give each other a break? Oh, but you know, those other people, like, they're not like charity cases. I think we've just been mistreating them by characterizing them and separating them. I mean, whatever they're saying, everybody's triggering each other. Let's put it that way. And I think that's part of the storm part. So, you know, maybe the fun part of it is like the puzzle of the fun of unlocking the puzzle to what gets us closer to being freaking decent to each other, at least. Thank you and good night.